Hi everyone, Shavua Tov. I'm just actually in a street at the moment called Choni Ma'agel, if you can see. A very big, long road here in the road of Elad. In fact, a lot of the streets inside this city is named after Rabbonim or places, and Choni Ma'agel was one of the great rabbis actually who we learn about that actually miraculously he brought water when there was a drought. There was a massive drought of water. He prayed for water, went inside the circle and prayed for an abundance of water to come because it was a critical situation. Hashem answered his tefillot and brought for Am Yisrael rain at that point in time. So the greatness of hearing the words of the tzaddikim, or saying some stuff about the tzaddikim, is absolutely infinite. And I want to actually share over some words within regards to the Daf Yomi. We are now in Masechet Bava Kamma. We're already in Mem Vav respectively. That's page 46 in today's Daf. And as you know, I did the previous pages of the Gemara inside a zoo because we were talking about different things within regards to an ox and different animals. So I thought, why not be creative? But here I am back in the city and of Elad at the moment. I want to relate over one thing. What do we do with an animal, an ox? We know that there's certain oxes that are considered tam, there's muad, but what if there's a very violent ox? And you know that if someone is holding on to these oxes, it's inevitable that what could actually occur is that it could actually end up, it's a risk within regards to life. Potentially, it can do damage to someone's limbs. It's going to attack. There's an established fact that it's going to attack. What do we do if there's an animal that's got that specific status? An animal that's violent, an animal with a violent streak. What do we do, friends, if it's going to do? So it's a discussion inside the Gemara, and Rabbi Eliezer is going to take an unprecedented view and is going to say that, you know, you don't have a choice but to slaughter it. Slaughtering the animal it doesn't mean hasta la vista within regards to you can't work with the animal, but you can definitely benefit from the hide. Potentially it can be used as food and a big profit can be made for it eventually. However, it's that dangerous and it could cause that much damage to other people. He will take a more extreme view and say to slaughter it, to actually kill it. And there's actually precedence within regards to this, because we do learn in the tractate of, if we not in the tractate, we know there's a pasuk in Sefer Devarim, in chapter 22. What's the verse say, friends? It says not to shed blood. We shouldn't allow blood to be shed. And how do we stop this taking place over here? It's this parameter over here that we're saying that we should, you have to kill the ox over here. And actually states over, we actually learn, Rabbi Nathan, as we call it in English, Rabbi Nathan would actually say not to raise a wild dog in someone's house. Why is that? Not to have a wild dog. We know that many people love to have pets, many people love to have dogs, friendly dogs especially. Sometimes in certain countries having a dog is very, very useful, especially if you're in South Africa and you own mansions and stuff like that, and it could be potentially dangerous. It is essential in some reasons, but to have a wild dog inside the house is seen as dangerous, and because potentially of the harm that it can do to other people potentially. So one should not raise the dog. So what's actually interesting is here I'm in the city of Elad, and especially since the coronavirus started a few years ago, it's become very popular in this ultra-Orthodox neighborhood for people to buy dogs, to have dogs over here. It's become a very, very popular thing at the moment. A lot of the Rabbonim actually came out and spoke that, maybe it's not the best thing that people have dogs, because of course it's good to have a pet, and it's therapeutic also in many, many different instances to have different animals, to have pets, and there's a lot of benefits within regards to having it. But at the same time, it's going to take up a lot of time. It can cause a lot of dirt. People are scared about them also, especially not to have a wild dog. If it's for to have a puppy or something cute to take care of, then there's a lot of benefits. But it's to have a wild dog that's going to scare other people, that's going to traumatize other people, there could be problems with that. And also, just to add one note within regards to this specific topic, that the barking of a violent dog could actually cause a woman, especially pregnant, a lot of damage potentially to the baby with a shock of it. It can cause a shock to any person. So one's got to be careful within regards to the animals that they own, within how they use it, where they're putting it. Is it going to disturb other people? Especially if it's a wild one, could attack someone else. There's all these safety measures. It's critical that if someone owns, they have to take full measures and full full care within regards to this specific thing, within regards to the animal, and look after it properly and make sure it doesn't do any damage to any other people. So yeah, so it's Motzei Shabbat. We just came out of Shabbat Parshat Miketz it was, and we're coming into Parshat Vayigash. Just to add one word before I leave you guys to it. In Parshat Miketz, we see how Yosef has actually come from becoming he was in the dungeon, he was in the prison just right now, and he's went from being in the from the prison all the way to become the viceroy of Egypt. That's how great of a stature has actually enveloped within regards to Joseph. He become one of the greatest people at the end. And remember, at that point in time, Egypt was the world power at the time, just like you could say New York was a world power now, or another massive country that's got massive influence. Egypt at that point in time was the main world power, and he had actually, Pharaoh himself, the king of Egypt, actually stated to Joseph that you've got the keys to everything. It's all up to you. Every decision making, you'll leave it onto him, because he was brilliantly able to interpret the dreams which agitated Pharaoh, and it was brilliantly interpreted correctly, as we see. And he went from being from the bottom all the way to the top. He became the viceroy of Egypt. So it just shows, just to leave with a parting message at the moment, that we could think everything's in despair, we're low, what can we be? We can't be the next Moshe Rabbeinu, but yes, you could become the next greatest thing on earth, and we've all got to have that power. Anyone listening now and thinks, oh, this is not for me, or something like that, but no, you can become great, and that is a message I have to leave you guys. So Shabbat Tov, everyone. I'd like to dedicate this in memory of Brenda Frame, a friend of mine, his mother from the country of Scotland. May we do good things, good deeds in her memory, and just blessings and everything else. So have a fantastic week here from the city of Elad.